Hey guys, it's Anne Marie. Happy What It Do Wednesday. I hope everybody's having a great week. This video is being just recorded on my phone. It's for it's for everybody, but my YouTube subscribers have asked for longer videos. And so even though this isn't a reading, so it's not a longer video on that, this is a video about hope, love, rebirth, growth, scarcity mindsets, breaking cycles. And when we are healed, the new space that we're then in and how to adapt to that, because that's what I'm in right now, and it's been weighing heavy on me. And so, and with the washer and dryer going, it makes the lights go in and out, so you have to excuse the lighting, but I look halfway decent with it. So thank you for being here. I knew this was going to be longer than 10 minutes, and so here we are. And I didn't write things down. I usually don't. I just speak, as you can tell. So just bear with me here. I am being very true to myself, being authentic and honest and talking from my own experiences. I've been gracious, or the people at the Open Shelter, where I still volunteer at. I was working there and having another job as supervisor of all the warming centers during the warming center, but the season's over, so now I'm without both jobs. However, they're my family, and I love them. And so they've been picking me up and still bringing me so I can still volunteer since I'm still looking for a car. And yesterday when the director, Shelley, was dropping me off, we were talking about the whole episode when they came and took the car and how I responded. And so she started talking about, were you shocked about how you responded? So we had this cool conversation. I call her a catalyst because I don't even think she realizes the conversations, how helpful they are to me to get me to really think about and give myself and talk about so other people can give themselves props on their growth. And she was talking about how it's always been interesting to her working with the population of people, the guests that come in there, the homeless individuals, and how a lot of people, especially people who are in certain situations, have this mindset of just here and now, like they can't foresee things in the future. Because I was talking to her and I said, those few minutes I took a deep breath, it was like I was shown the future. It was like, are you going to do the same thing that you did before and just try to save the car and have no fucking money at all and still be in the same predicament? Or are you going to look at the future ahead, which is what I did. Like, I can save the car right now. I can give them a couple $1,000, save the car, but then what's going to happen in a month when I can't make the $560, $70 fucking car payment that they wouldn't work with me on? And so it was an easier decision to let it go. And so we were talking about how that's a huge thing. And I took a big training many, many years ago called Bridges Out of Poverty. And they talked about this, about the poverty mindset and how oftentimes when people get taxes, people like, how are they like living in the hood or, don't have this or that. But then when they get their taxes, they buy a TV. They don't think about the gas bill they're going to have to pay in a couple months. No. It's not because people are lazy. It's a poverty mindset. There's more to it, so that's not what this video is about. But it got me to thinking about how, how people tend to do that and how I usually have done that, right? And so, I don't think she realized that she's a catalyst for me a lot of times, these conversations. And I didn't go into the Open Show today. I wasn't feeling well, and I think I was purging a lot of things and crying because I am in this new space, and this space is also uncomfortable for me. The space of receiving. The space of really having a few people in my life that generally care about me and don't want anything from me. And I've never had that. And so that's what this video is about. So there's going to be tears. You guys know me. And so it got me to think about, my entire life, I didn't realize this till I woke up a couple years ago, but my entire life, everything was conditional. Even with my family, I'm not going to go down the hole, but when you're the black sheep and you're always the problem, and there's narcissism and the lies about you, all those things, whatever. I never experienced true, authentic connections. I thought I did, but it was an unhealed version of me, so I was coming from an unhealed place because I never was shown those things. I didn't know. So when you don't know, you don't know. It's not like when people grow up in a certain type of household, they don't realize it's dysfunctional until they go to somebody else's household. Or if they're lucky, they go to someone else's household that doesn't have dysfunction. I'm kind of getting off track here because I'm getting a little anxious here. Not anxious, but just I want to make sure I tell the story to help people so we don't shoot ourselves in the foot when these things start coming for us, when we start healing and growing and accepting, not accepting bullshit and only accepting what's meant for us and what's meant to be on our path. So I'm trying to stay on topic here. So about 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago, I was part of the spiritual community here. I was a student of shamanism. And at that time, for the first time in my life, I felt like I had a family. Now, looking back, it was like my family. It was very toxic, very narcissistic, very conditional. But I didn't see that because I was in such a place of just wanting to find a place in a group. These were all unhealed parts of me. And I thought I found that. I thought I found in my teacher someone who I thought healed some fatherhood wounds. I thought I made an amazing connection with another woman and developed that stuff. But it was all game. It was all set up. It wasn't real. And I didn't realize that until I started calling it out. Because what people often forget, don't do, is they judge you based on when they met you. They don't look at the other pages in your book. And one thing about me, regardless of what position I'm in, I'm still going to fucking speak up about bullshit. And that's what started to happen. I was in a lot of triangulation. I was, this person who was supposed to be my teacher was telling me personal stuff about, we were all really close. So, but I didn't want to be a part and involved in their marriages. Like, I didn't want to be involved in the drama. I didn't want to hear about it. I didn't want to hear about the drama with the other students, which I was always involved in. And then when I started calling the bullshit out is when I was the fucking problem. And I have to say, up until that point, that was the most painful thing. These people who said they loved and cared about me thought I was a dumb, naive little girl. It's interesting, my mom introduced me to my shaman teacher. Everything's connected. The first drumming I ever went to was at a hospital where my ex-boyfriend works, the one that had cameras in the house and had seafood seasoning that he was putting on my food, which I'm definitely allergic to. I'm not going to go into all that, but he worked there. But she introduced me to drumming, and where I met my teacher, who also knew my sister, I found out. It's just so much. But anyway, and so I finally felt like I was part of a group. But I started to recognize the triangulation. And, when there's narcissism stuff, it's like the drama. And my teacher was talking about everybody in the community, putting them down. And even, like, the other women, they would try to, like, get me to be their doppelganger. I wouldn't say they would get me to be that, but they would always, how can I say this? Like, they would always say, oh, you're like so-and-so and so-and-so. And I'm like, no, the fuck I'm not. I'm like myself. And then when I started to notice people stealing my ideas and my stuff, I noticed how they responded. So, how they responded to me was complete isolation and gang stalking and magic and spell work. And like most situations, I just want to, like, moonwalk out of it. Even with my family, they took all my shit. They did all the fuck shit to me. I just wanted to moonwalk out of everything. But they wouldn't allow it. They purposely put me, and I'm not going to go in these scenarios, but we already know what they are about people energy harvesting, trying to take your fucking destiny, doing spell work on you, binding work. And these people were very, very good at what they did. They don't use their gifts, though, for the light. I can tell you that. And so they were like my family in the sense of the isolation, the abandonment, and I was only good for something when it was a benefit, when you were having a gathering, or you need me to be a fucking mule, or you need me to do this or that. And so it was a slow process of awakening. And when I finally walked away because of the fuck shit, and the just drama, and realize these people aren't who the fuck they say they are. They make up their degrees, they make up their certificates, they make up their college and their universities. They're not of, I'm not judging them. It's not the path I want to walk. And so I was in that, and so it was very familiar, just like my family. And the abandonment, I felt, and feeling unloved and uncared about, like, oh, once I speak up, now I'm the problem. Once I say, hey, I don't think this is a good idea, I don't think that's right, this is what I'm seeing. And all my meditations and journal entries that I emailed to my teacher, he had me also email to another student. They used all that shit against me from past experiences I've had. They used that all. They used that in their magic. They used that in their binding. They used it all to keep me stuck. They wanted me to take myself out like everybody else around them. And so my idea of love and connection has been fucked up. And that isolation, these last almost 3 years, because I was in my apartment when all this was happening. And I was also dealing with family stuff. And the guy living upstairs who was abusing women and doing God knows what to people up there. It was very chaotic, and I found peace with spirit. That's when I really started digging deep. And so I've been in this space of healing for 2 or 3 years, of recognizing who I am, stepping into my power, seeing how, wow, there's a lot of stuff we actually can do. Recognizing I'm a fucking goddess. And that I have something special, like we all do. What am I going to do with it? It took a lot of shadow work, a lot of healing, a lot of cycles. And when I was illegally evicted, I fled to another city of someone who was supposed to be supportive, and found out they were just as bad. They were the ones that were doing spell work on me and putting it under the couch, and my cat ate. And this woman, I don't care. I don't use this word lightly because I don't like to, but this woman had a lot of screws loose. But once again, these demons, I hate saying it like that way, but these entities thinking they can take me down, they switch faces, and I've learned that now. It seems crazy, but it's so fucking not. And I have receipts for it all, proof of everything. So anyway, I've gone from place to place to place trying to heal, just trying to catch my fucking footing, just trying to figure out why. Because I'm free-hearted and free-spirited, you think I'm naive and dumb. Because I don't say anything, you think you're getting over on me. And I allowed a lot of things because Spirit told me to. And so in these past couple years, I have been in straight hermit mode, focusing on me, healing, healing, healing. And so I've had this conversation with Shelly yesterday when she dropped me off about how I responded differently to the car being taken, how I used to freak. I would have freaked out. I did freak out 2 years ago. Like, that's how I used to do everything. It was the energies around me too. I wasn't balanced. The people around me were they were the least balanced. They were creating a lot of the problems in my life. And then laughing at me when I was coming to them for help. And so I found love within myself and spirit, but it's been very hard for me to open up to people because I've been taken for so many times. And I take responsibility for that. I was unhealed, right? And so I allowed those things, but thinking people cared about me whenever they were just trying to get over on me, trying to get my money, trying to get my gifts, trying to get me just to pull a card for them and not do an energy exchange, or just thinking they can just say whatever they want fucking about me. And so these last 3 years, I've really focused on loving myself and finding out what love was. And I found it within me in spirit, my ancestors. And so now I'm in this space of being around people who love me. And it's weird. I was telling Shelly, I said, this is the first time in my life that I didn't give all my money away. I was always trying to help people, look out for people. I did things for people that I would want done for me. That's the mindset I was in. And now I realize that's not how life is. That's not how it is here on earth. That's not how humans work. Not all of them. A lot of them don't. It's greed, jealousy. And I don't operate on that. I don't compete. I have no one to compete with. I don't want anybody's man. I don't want none of my exes. So when I was pondering today, I wasn't feeling well. I was purging a lot. There's this space of uncomfortability when you've healed and you've broken certain cycles. When people just naturally reach out to you and say, hey, I was just thinking about you. And it's interesting because with a few of the individuals at the open shelter, I immediately pick things up. Like I automatically, I can't turn it off. This is the divine instant being I am. And so it isolates me a lot because I automatically know things. I pick up on the evil spirits. I pick up on the deception. I pick up on the lies. I can't turn it off. And it's been a challenge for me because though I see what people's barriers are and what their trauma is, I know, and what can unblock them, it's not my job to do that. Because people like their lives, even if it is a lie. And who am I to change that? Now, if people want help, okay. So these people at the open shelter, these women have shown me unconditional love. And so now I'm in this space of being open to what's meant for me. It's just a strange space to be in when you're healed. It's not uncomfortable. Is this making sense? I don't go out often. I don't go places. I'm not around people. I don't go in groups. I don't like crowds. I don't like watch TV. I can't watch TV. I can't. It's exhausting just going to the grocery store. No matter what I do to protect and shield myself, it doesn't stop my gifts. It doesn't stop who the fuck I am. And that's what makes it hard. And so, this is what I've been telling myself. And so the individuals at the open shelter, and I have the longest connection with Shelly and Sarah, so I'll speak about them. I'm friends with Allie too, who's the granddaughter of the founder, who's no longer with us. But I've known Shelly and Sarah the longest. They've seen they've seen a lot of my journey these last 2 years. And I don't think they really realize how much hope they've given me in love. Not love as in a romantic. That's the furthest from my mind. Just because I know when Spirit brings me my divine partner, I'll know it'll flow, and there won't be doubts, there won't be question, there won't be fear, there won't be pain. And I'm a patient motherfucker. I've waited 49 years for this part of my life. And so I don't think they realize that by them just being there. I mean, I know it's simple, giving someone a ride. But someone like me, who always had to give to get something. I was never of value unless I was doing something for somebody. And that does a lot to you. Because inside you know you're a good person. Inside, you know you do all these things for people. Why can't they just take? And it has nothing to do, I've realized now, it has nothing to do with me as a person, how people treat me. It has everything to do with them and how they feel about themselves. I illuminate a lot of shit. I piss a lot of people off. Even people who say they like me don't know why they do some of the shit they do to me till after the fact. They're like, why the fuck would I have done that to her? I trigger a lot of fucking people. And it took me all these years to realize not to wear that armor. Sorry, there's a lot going on here. And so I'm learning to receive friendships. I'm learning when to speak and when not to speak, which is big for me. A lot of times people don't even know the lies that they're telling. A lot of times people don't realize that they're lying to themselves about their life and about their circumstances. I didn't. Because when you don't know, right? And so the space that I'm in has been interesting. It has given me time to think about what I expect out of people. And I don't expect anything, I should say. But what kind of people I'm going to allow in my life now. This is why I'm no contact. This is why people aren't in my life anymore. I'm no longer lowering my vibration or lowering my energy to meet you where you're at. If you can't rise to the occasion, then you're not in my life. If you're still fear-mongering and trying to project fear into me and trying to tell me what I can't do and trying to take from me, we're just not at the same vibration. Yeah. I feel like I got off topic, but I just wanted to communicate the space of when we're healed. And there's this, okay, so now that we're healed, how do we make sure that our healed version shows up that way? And for me, it's natural because I'm authentic. No matter, how I am on these videos, that's how I am in real life. I'm actually probably more giddy in real life. And people really think I'm dumb. They really think I'm stupid because of it. Like, it's so funny to me. You be all lighthearted and goo and you doing bird chirps and playing and spinning and all that. That's what's healed my inner child. I was never allowed those things. But people equate that with ignorance and stupidity because you're not all, you know. And so I keep going back to, so in this new space that I'm in, it's not fear. It's not questioning people's motives. It's not, because I already have the knowing, right? And I trust it automatically. And it's scary for me sometimes because the knowing shows you things that you didn't even think were possible in people. And I was afraid of that knowing for a long time. I denied it. I denied the knowing. I'm like, no. That's my sister. She'd never do that. No. That's my teacher. They would never do that. Yeah. And so the knowing has scared me for many years. My whole life, actually. That's why I started using drugs. The pain pills were too great. Numbed me out. So I didn't have to. So all this wouldn't be going on. That's why a lot of us on this journey, I don't say don't make it, but have a lot of struggles. Is because it's a lot to manage on top of the 3D world. You have to fucking work while you're doing this shit? You mean I have to fucking work and pay these bullshit ass bills to live on this planet that I'm not even from? What kind of shit is this? It gets so distracting. I know I'm getting off topic here. I'm sorry. Part of me wants to just stop it and re-record it, but we're 24 minutes in. I know my people get me, and that's all that matters to me. You can fast forward or not much. I do these so it opens space for other people to do it in their lives. To just speak from the heart. You don't need to have, well, maybe you should have a script. Maybe I should start writing stuff down. But just to do it even when you're afraid. To be your authentic self. To show people who you really are. Because by you being you, it gives people space to be them. I'm so grateful to the very few people in my area that love me. Just for me. That see me for who I really am. Not that I don't need it, but it feels good to be seen for who you really fucking are. The magical motherfucking badass that you are. And it's not the ego. It's living a life where no one ever saw you or heard you or listened to you. And they could have saved themselves a lot of pain and agony if they would have listened to your prophecies, because they all came true. They always do. But it feels good to just have people around me that I don't have to explain my gifts to, that I don't have to explain that I'm overwhelmed. I don't have to explain, like they can see it, they can feel it, they know it. They're in tune with me there. I don't think they realize how they're helping me heal that wound, the sisterhood wound. Not wanting anything in return. And giving me opportunities to evolve and grow. That's what love is to me right now. And I'm grateful for the fucking amazing support I get on my social media. Like, hearing other people's stories and how they resonate with the messages and my life experiences reaffirms that we're not alone. We're not alone in this. We may be states apart or countries apart, but we're experiencing similar things. It does get better. But know when it does get better, when you are on the other side of breaking cycles and healed, that there is that, for me, there is that space of like, oh, everything that's not in alignment with me is like an allergy to my body now. And I never would have realized that if it wouldn't have been for the community isolating me and making a mockery out of me and my gifts. And lying about me. I mean, God, I've heard I'm a prostitute. I have an OnlyFans page. That I'm a bum. That I steal. That all these things. That's never been a part of my... Even when I was out there getting high, I didn't do that shit. Not that I'm above anybody or better than anybody, because I know some very amazing women in recovery who did, unfortunately, have to go to those lengths to get money to feed their habit. I worked the whole time. But I still respect that, because I know a lot of amazing women who had to make those really rough choices when they were an unhealed version of themselves. So I think it's kind of funny when people say that about me, because it's the furthest from the truth. And so once you're healing, you're on the other side of it. Hold space for that new space as well. Hold space for yourself on this new timeline. It's still interesting to me about the whole car thing. Like, I'm just still shocked in how I responded. Like, and it was when Shelly was like saying to me, were you shocked how I responded? I said, fuck yeah, I can't believe it. I said, but I foresaw it. I knew what was going to happen. I mean, it was common sense. Like, I couldn't keep up with a $560 car payment. First of all, I don't have a job. It's kind of hard to get a job when you don't have a car. But I'm doing my spiritual stuff. I'm getting ready. I'm doing my Reiki stuff. I'm doing me. I'm just going to say that. I don't put my business out there like that until after I do something, because you know how people are. But it's this space that I'm in of feeling healed, but not sure like what that means, because it's new. I don't even know if that makes sense. But for those who it does make sense to, it's going to make sense too. As always, I appreciate the space you guys give me. I love you. And you can see it in my eyes that I'm serious. I truly do. And I wish all of you, no matter how far you've gone down one side of the path, you can always go to the light. I hope you're healthy and happy and full of joy. I truly do. May you love and be loved. Heal. Don't harm.